Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nene and this is Nene's Crafting Corner. If you hear noises in the background, that would be my little boys wandering around. I might have to stop because our one dog, and I might have to stop this real quick. Yep, he got stuck. Please hold. Okay, take two. Our little guy, Jacques, has, we took him in for a checkup and he is almost all the way blind and almost all the way deaf. And because of that, he likes to get stuck in places and then he barks. So if you hear any rustling around behind me, that's them. That's Blue and Jacques. If you hear any barking, that is Jacques, most likely, because he's stuck and I'm going to have to go get him. Oh boy, life. Last video I posted was in October, I think, so my apologies for going dark again. Just life gets freaking in the way. I am currently working on my whip for my whip and chap. My whip for my whip and chat today is my Alice in a Winter Wonderland diamond painting event canvas. It's Alice in the White Rabbit's House by Simona Candini, and it's rendered by Diamond Art Club. And that's the picture. We'll get the glare off there. So there's all the dimensions and everything. Oh, and you can see my start date. Anyway, so I'm just gonna dive into it because, I mean, I was writing down some highlights from what I could remember from the last video, and there's not like a lot, but there's a lot. All right, so Halloween, let me try again. I think I missed I sure did. Maybe. Yes, I did. I don't remember when in October I filmed, but Halloween, pretty sure we did not do a bloody thing, and it was delightful. Next really big thing was Thanksgiving. We did, I don't know if everywhere does this or if it's just like a Utah thing, or I don't know, but we call it the Turkey Bowl. And usually, like growing up, kids in the neighborhood would get together and play football for a couple of hours the morning of Thanksgiving. And my brothers all did it. I did it. So my sister decided that she has a son, and she decided that this year she wanted to host the Turkey Bowl. And get her son, well, actually her son said that he wanted to play the Turkey Bowl. So we all packed up and went out to her house, and I poured way more drills than I needed for that color, but that's okay. So we all packed up and went out to her house, which is about 20-30 minutes away, depending on traffic. Don't ask me how many miles, because I couldn't tell you. I just know how to get there, and I know about how long it takes. So, because that's how we measure stuff around here, is by minutes, not miles. I think that's a Utah thing, but I don't know. Anyway, so the boys all played football for a couple of hours. Actually, I don't think the lazy pukes even lasted an hour. But then we went home and we got ready for the day. We went, let's see, what else did we do on Thanksgiving? See, that was already, it's only January 4th, but it's already so far away that I clearly have forgotten. also poured away too many of this drill. Oh, well. I think we went home and had a nap and just dinked around or whatever. And then we went and had dinner with Tim's aunts and uncles, and his parents show up for that dinner too. And then we went and had dessert with my family. And then we went home and slept, and then Black Friday in the States, the day after Thanksgiving. Black Friday's a big shopping day for like Christmas and sales and blah, blah, blah. Not my thing. I try very hard not to step foot outside of my house on Black Friday, and I'm trying to remember. Tim went and played cards that day because I just sat and I think I diamond painted that day. I was working on the Ronald Weasley painting from Diamond Art Club. I was trying to get that done before the new year so that I could, start this canvas. Oh yeah, because Tim ordered this canvas and 3 others for me for Christmas and my birthday, because my birthday is in December. And then, yeah, so I think I just diamond painted all that day. And, yeah. And then the next really big, eventful, exciting thing was Gabby had the baby. So that is another great nephew. He was born, oh my gosh. 5 days. He was born 5 days before my birthday. So he and I are both Sagittarius. Not that that really matters, or I put any stock into that, but it's just a fun thing that I like to do for funsies. And no offense to those that actually, believe all that. It's just a fun thing for me to do. He was born with a freaking full head of hair. And after I think either 15 or 18 hours of labor, she was induced. And so I think after like 15 or 18 hours of labor, he was not facing the correct way. So she had to have a C-section. And her mother is in the room with them, which is, fine, her choice, whatever. But she got a very sweet picture of Christopher, my nephew. After they they named him William, which is a family name on my side of the family. I don't know if it's on her side of the family too, but I do know it is on my side of the family, or Christopher's side of the family. It was my grandfather's name, and so his great-grandfather. But anywho, after they pulled William out of Gabby and started, closing her up and everything, they handed him to Christopher, and Gabby's mom got the sweetest picture of him holding William for the first time, and you could see the tears in his eyes and just the pure joy and happiness, and it's the sweetest thing. Sweetest picture in the whole wide world. Not that I'm biased. I'm 100% biased. Christopher holds a very special place in my heart, as do all of his, well, not all. Well, yeah, all, but particularly him and his 3, I don't even want to say biological siblings, because the other ones are his biological siblings too. My sister was married previously, and they've got a yours, mine, and ours family. But so his 3 siblings from I guess I should put it that way. His siblings from his biological father, they hold a very special place in my heart. And I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned it before, but my sister, when I was 14, the summer before I turned 15. They used to live in Idaho, and they came down for a visit, and it's been so long that all the details are a little, I don't remember them as clearly now. But the long and the short of it is, they were here visiting, and her and her, at the time, husband got into a huge fight, and he ended up, they were driving so they could talk, and he ended up pulling off to the side of the road and beating the schnoz out of her. And she had to bite him to get him off of her, and she jumped out of the van on the side of the highway, and he just drove off, never to be seen or heard from again. So, real stand-up guy, that one. Anyway, so they came to live with us, and like I said, I was 14 at the time. Christopher was almost 4. His older sister was 5. And then the 2 youngers, let's see, Kieran was 2, and Zachary was not even a year old when this happened. And so that obviously left an impression on me for the rest of my life. And I didn't realize how much of an impression that left on me until I became an adult. And then I really realized how really messed up I am about it. But that's neither here nor there at this moment. Anywho, point of the story. Very, 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 Christopher and his siblings hold a very, very special place in my heart. Because they became more like my little brothers and sisters than my nieces and nephews. Sometimes very great, sometimes very not so great. Again, that's another story for another day. Anywho, so very sweet picture of Christopher holding William for the first time, and it warms my heart, my cold, cold heart, to see him be such a good daddy. And anyhow, so yay, William was born, and he's adorable. I made Tim hold him. We were over there for my birthday, actually, which is another big thing. So I'll come back to that. Anyway, so then my birthday, we went to Olive Garden for lunch, and I hate being sung to. I try to avoid telling people it's my birthday when we're in a restaurant, because I hate being sung to. I hate it. Contrary to what my sister may say, I do not like the attention on me. And so singing to me in a crowded restaurant, or even a not so crowded restaurant, please don't do it. But I had gone to the bathroom, and I guess our server, Tim told our server that it was my birthday, but I didn't want to get sung to, and my server got really sad. So when I came back from the bathroom, Tim's like, well, too bad, the server really wanted to sing to you, so we're going to sing to you. I'm like, ugh, fine. So the staff came over and sang happy birthday to me, and I made the server very happy, so whatever. And then, oh god, free dessert. So if you didn't know, if you go to Olive Garden and you're celebrating either an anniversary or a birthday, they will give you a free dessert. Fun fact. So yeah. So we did that. That was for lunch. And then we went to sushi with one of Christopher's little sister, Kieran, and her husband. We went to sushi with them for my birthday. And that was a lot of fun. I love sushi so very much. It's delicious. And this place by us does an all-you-can-eat. And included in their all-you-can-eat is their appetizers too. And that makes me super-de-duper happy. Because it's not just edamame, but there's edamame, there's miso soup, there's pot stickers that I love so very much. I love edamame too. And they have mussels and spring rolls. I want to say they have more, but that's all I can remember at this moment in time. I usually stick to the pot stickers and edamame for appetizers. Sometimes I'll get the mussels, depends on my mood. But anyway, so yeah, we went and had sushi, and then we went over to Christopher and Gabby's and snuggled the baby. And I told Tim that he had to hold the baby, because if he wants to have a baby, then he has to hold the baby, because he had never held a baby before. He has nieces and nephews, but he's never held a baby. So I made him hold the baby. I made him hold William. And it warmed my heart. He's just so worried about, he's one of those guys that doesn't, like, I don't know if he, maybe underestimate is the best way to put it. Like, he doesn't know his own strength. And so sometimes he will unintentionally break something because he didn't realize, like, how tight he was turning it, or, you know, bending it, or, you know, whatever. So he was so scared to hold the baby because he's like, I'm gonna break him. I'm like, you're not gonna break him. And so that was kind of fun and sweet to watch him. And then after that, he was like, can we go to Christopher and Gabby's? I want to hold the baby. It's sweet. But yeah, so that was my birthday, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And yeah. So after my birthday, I got cracking on the whip, and I finally can say that I own my condo after I've lived in it for 7 years. So we got the appraisal done shortly after my birthday, and we ended up signing papers on the day before New Year's Eve, so the 30th, and yay, now I'm the owner. So that's fun and exciting, and it kind of doesn't feel real because I think it's because I've lived here for so long, and I don't have to move, and so it doesn't feel like real. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my head. That's all that matters, right? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? If we only knew. And I kind of jumped ahead because the condo signing and closing was a little further down my list, but it's fine. Nobody is here to police and boss me and tell me how I'm supposed to do these things, right? I do them in whatever order I want. So then after the appraisal and after my birthday, it was full steam ahead for Christmas. And I think I mentioned it last year at Christmas. I hate the commercialization of Christmas. I hate the idea of the quote unquote perfect gift, because it does not exist. And so Christmas stresses me out. Birthdays stress me out. Like, having to buy gifts, like, it just stresses me out, and I don't like the way that it makes me feel. I bought, or I shouldn't, well, I mean, I did buy, but Tim and I gave the grandkids all books. His family is not, at least from what I can see, you know, outside looking in, because I don't know what their childhood was like, but reading does not seem to be, and I don't mean this in a negative, derogatory, like, any kind of, like, that kind of, like, I'm not trying to diss on them, okay? Because every family is different. And while reading was very important to my mother and father, even most of my siblings don't read. Like, well, like, they're not avid readers, like, and that's fine. But I feel books are important, and so I told Tim last year, because last year we gave the nieces and nephews books. I told him, I said, books are very important to me, and even if, like, we are giving them the materials. What they do with them after that, that's on them. But at least they can't say, well, we didn't have any books to read to our children. Like, no, I made sure of it. I made sure of it. So we gave the kids books, and he sent his dad some money via Venmo to buy his mom something nice. So she showed me all the things that she got with that money for Christmas, and she was super excited. And I'm telling you, that's the way to do it, okay? Just give me cold hard cash and I will buy what I want. If we have to do the gift giving, can we do it this way, please? To say the grandkids got spoiled, well, that's an understatement, but that's what grandparents do, right? And we spent Christmas Eve at my sister Nicole's house. She usually does a Christmas Eve dinner and then uses leftovers for the next day so she doesn't have to cook 2 big meals, which, that's genius. So we were there for the dinner, and we, were there for some present opening, like pajamas and stuff. And my poor dad, I'm not sure if it's Alzheimer's or dementia. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not quite sure the difference between the two. Sorry, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. But so my dad's 80. He turns 81 in April. So he's old man. And he's getting forgetful in his old age. And he asked me the name of one of his grandsons. He's like, "Who's that with, so and so?" And I'm like, "Well, that's so and so." And he's like, "Oh, I forgot his name." I'm like, "How could you forget his name?" But then I forget that he's old, and that's what happens sometimes. But yeah, so that was Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day, we went back. Oh, Christmas Eve, we also did lunch with Tim's family, I guess, per their tradition. And then we went to my sister's house for dinner. And then on Christmas Day, we went back over to his parents' house for presents and breakfast. And he and I had both agreed no more than a couple hours, because we don't want to spend all day there, because that happened last year and we were both super hateful about it, because we want to spend some time by ourselves, because we don't have kids and we don't have to rush through the holiday, we just want to take our time and not have to rush around everywhere and spend some time alone. Sorry, I have to feel it to make sure nothing's like popping up. Plus, I like the feel of it. So we decided no more than 2 hours. So we actually got there half an hour early and helped get things ready. And then his brothers showed up. One brother spent December in Chile because his in-laws live there. And for other reasons, but that's, anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's not important. Important part of the story is they were not there. At least for them. Anyway, so we're sitting there waiting for his sister to show up, and one thing led to another, and they were 2.5 hours late again, because that happened last year too. And I was super peeved then, and I was even more peeved this year. But it is what it is. Anyway, sorry, now I'm counting. So we ended up not even leaving. So we left at 3 in the afternoon. We were supposed to be back to my parents for dessert at 6. That did not leave a whole lot of time for the cooking of the dinner. Because I told Tim I wanted our tradition to be, we, spend go to breakfast, whatever, spend this much time with everybody, but I want dinner to be ours. I don't mind cooking a dinner just for you and I on Christmas Day. But yet again, because his sister was running late and they refused to open presents without everybody there, like, I get it, but some of us have places to be, and I totally forgot that 2 of those symbols. The inconsideracy, it drives me up the wall. Anyway, so he decided that next year, whether everybody's on time or not, we will go for 2 hours, and then we are leaving, and we can come and get whatever presents we missed later, or whatever, because this is bullcrap, and he's had enough of it, and me too. But I did not want to be the jackwagon and be like, hey, but no. He totally validated my feelings, and I appreciate that. So then on our way home, I called my mom. I'm like, hey, can we crash your dinner? Because this happened, and I don't have time to make our dinner. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So we totally crashed my parents' dinner, and which they were fine with because they claim that they never get to see me, which, I mean, I'm a homebody, okay? And I know my parents are old and I need to spend as much time with them as I can, but I need to live my life too. Right? I know. I'm a total jerk, okay? You can tell me. I know. That whole, am I the a-hole here? Yeah, I am. Okay, I know. I'm fully aware. It's fine. But we went to dinner at my parents', which was good and fun. Had another forgetful moment with my dad. He was telling me about the poodle. I don't even remember how. Oh, my boys need a haircut and the dogs need a haircut, and he's freaking out because they're so shaggy and like, look, I know. Okay, life gets in the way. Anywho, that's how we got on the subject. So he was telling me that my mom used to have a poodle. I'm assuming when they were like very first married, before they had kids. My mom had this poodle, and he's like, I always hated how she had him cut because she had him cut like a poodle. And I was like, yeah, that's why I never had Maddie cut like a poodle, because I hate it. And he looked me square in the eyes, and okay, let me just give you a little bit of backstory here. My poodle, Maddie, was my dad's pride and joy. Like, I would come over and bring Maddie with me all the time. And I'd walk through the door, and he wouldn't even say hi to me. He'd be like, there's my girl. Come here, Maddie. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Bring her the dogs. Cool. Yeah, Maddie was his pride and joy. After my divorce, I moved in with them with Maddie, and, he's like, she's got to have a bath once a week because she's not going to smell like a dog. I don't want my house to smell like a dog. Like, I get it, okay? The man built her a pea hut for the winter so that she did not have to go potty in the snow. And he even freaking would sweep her path to the pea hut so that she didn't have to walk in the snow. Like, she was princess. And she used to, because both my parents are retired, while I was at work, she would just sit on the couch and vegetate with them. My dog was never supposed to be more than like 7 pounds. Okay, she was a toy poodle. Actually, I was told she was teacup, but I think she was more toy than teacup. But anyway, point is, she was not supposed to be more than 7 pounds. When I moved out of their house and into my first apartment, after my divorce, she weighed 14.5 pounds. Hers was a chunky monkey. because all she would do is sit on the couch, and my dad would feed her scraps off of his plate and let her lick the plate, and like he fed her off of his plate at dinner, and like it was just around the clock. She was just eating with him. And it was really cute and sweet to see, but like, dude, I'm gonna kill my dog. Oh, she was a chunky dog. And then obviously after we moved out and we had to go potty, we had to go up and we had to go down the stairs because I was on the second floor, and then we had to go back up the stairs. She trimmed out real good. But anyway, so that's the backstory on Maddie. So I was talking about how that's why I never groomed Maddie like a poodle, because I didn't like it. And he looked me square in the eyes and he said, and it broke my heart, because he's like, who's Maddie? Who's Maddie? You love Maddie. I was like, Maddie, you know, my toy poodle, blah, 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 blah. And he's looking at me like I'm talking about some foreign relative that he'd never even heard of. And then finally he was like, oh, yeah, Maddie. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I knew it was bad, but him not remembering Maddie was huge, like a huge thing. Made me really, really sad. But then we had dessert, and then we came home, and I was completely, like, exhausted. I was so grateful. Like, I got the Friday before Christmas, so I got the 23rd off, and then I got the 26th off for the holiday, and I was so grateful because all the running around, I don't like it. Like, I like to just, go at my own pace. And holidays, I don't typically get to go at my own pace because you have to be somewhere at a certain time, and I don't like it. My first husband used to complain all the time that holidays got in the way of his days off, and I'm like, oh, you're such a grump, bah humbug. Like, nope. Older I get, I'm like, ooh, he was on to something. Like, homeboy was on to something, because now not feeling it. And this is any holiday I feel this way. I'm like I get so grumpy. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay home and diamond paint. If the opportunity ever arises for me to retire and just, you know, be an at-home wife and a stay-at-home dog mom, like, I'm all over that. I'm going to be all over that so fast. Because I'm tired already. I can feel it. I'm tired already. But that's, oh my gosh, I'm having some struggles here. I think it might be time for a new stuff in my pen. So yeah, that was Christmas. And then, like I said, on the 30th, I signed and closed on my condo. So we are now the official homeowners, and I've got big plans. And as stuff comes together, I will take some before and after pictures so you guys can see the home improvements that I'm doing. I'm super excited. Big plans. Now I just have to find the, big money to do it all. And I realize it's not going to get all done like this year or in the next couple of months. It's going to be a long process, and that's okay. So then after New Year, or after that so now we just got New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, we went and had lunch with my in-laws per their family tradition. And we told everybody that we closed on our condo, and that was super exciting. And then my husband, being the way he is, we'd gone to Olive Garden, and he asked him, he's like, if we're celebrating the closing on a condo or, house purchase, whatever, does that count for a free dessert? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I told you. And he's like, no, it's fine. I had to ask. I'm like, weirdo. And then after we had lunch, we just did a little bit of running around. Nothing too terribly fun and exciting. And then we went over to Christopher and Gabby's, and they went and played cards until about 9 p.m. and then they came home. and we had dinner, snuggled the baby, and then I fell asleep on the couch because Christopher and Tim were playing a game, and Gabby was playing on her phone, and I was playing on my Switch until I got too tired because I'm an old lady, and I fell asleep on the couch, and I could hear, like, I wasn't, like, dead asleep, because I was, like, in and out. Like, I could hear, like, Tim and Christopher talking, and, like, I heard Tim say, he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to wake her up at midnight for her kiss, and that's exactly what he did. He woke me up at midnight, and he was like, can I have a kiss? I'm all, yep, and I kissed him, and I said, let's go home, I'm tired. So we packed it all up, and we went home. And then New Year's Day, we just kind of lazed about, and it was wonderful. Where did we, I feel like we went somewhere on New Year's Day, but, sorry, my hand itches. I honestly, we had to have gone somewhere because we didn't have any food in the house because I haven't done grocery shopping in a while. Because of the holidays, and work was just atrocious before the holiday, and that's really going to bother me. Anyway, we had a lazy day regardless, on New Year's Day. Very lazy. And then I got Monday off for the New Year's, and Tim went into work for triple time. And I just sat and prepped my diamond painting that I'm currently working on, and I just started that, and I diamond painted for about 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. And then I think he came home and we went to dinner. Don't ask me where, because I couldn't tell you at this moment in time. Because I also am forgetful. So here I am griping about my dad being old and forgetful, and, well, I can't even remember a meal I had a couple of days ago. So there's that. So yeah, now we're back to business as usual at work. And my coworker that I work with the most during the day, she was off between Christmas and New Year's, and boy, was that the longest 4 days of my life. But it's okay, because I took off next Monday and Tuesday, so the 9th and 10th. And yeah, it all evens out, right? And I think that's really all I've got. Hopefully, with getting the condo signed and in my name, and the holidays are over, hopefully life will slow down, that I can get back onto a schedule. I know I said this before, but like for realsies this time. For realsies this time. Hopefully I can get back on a schedule where I can record and post more regularly, because I do miss it. I'm just recording about what's going on in my life and keeping y'all updated. Yeah, that's basically all I got for this one, and that was a good 40 minutes. I got a little timer running on my iPad, so I got about 20 minutes left. So yeah, it was about a 40-minute video, not too bad. Bit of a hiccup there at the beginning. Thank you, Jacques, who has since settled down. Yeah, they're both settled down behind me, snuggled together. So if I, oh, that one I don't think is in the right spot. So if I take a picture of it, it's super cute. I'll show you. I think that's in the wrong spot. Come here. Nope, that was okay. It looked so random, and anyway. You guys ever do that thing? You put something wrong like that, like I just did. Thought I put something in the wrong spot. Pull it up, and then, oh, it was in the right spot all along. Oops, didn't mean it. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully with the new year, I can get back onto a regular schedule with all the things. Not that my life is so terribly busy that I need to, anyway. But yeah, so I guess instead of saying, but yeah, and keep prattling on, I'm just gonna end it here. I hope you guys all had a happy, safe, peaceful, restful holidays, whatever holidays you may celebrate during the December and November months. I hope it was a safe, peaceful, restful, and enjoyable time for y'all. And I will see you guys in about a week. If you like this video, obviously give it a good thumbs up down yonder. Click like, subscribe. Let's hang out. Maybe be friends. Who knows? Let's be friends. I need more friends. Apparently I don't have enough. People tell me all the time that I don't have enough friends. So I don't know what the correct amount of friends is, but apparently I don't have it. So click like, subscribe, and come be a part of my crazy ramblings on and much to do about nothing. I feel like there's more that I should be saying here, but I am drawing a blank. So we're just going to call it off. And before I say one more time. And I almost just said it again. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a safe week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.